Okay, so I thought let me do a quick little voiceover on this this race I did this morning. I thought a few more mates were going to join, but at the end of the day, we had Hayden, Jono, Carl did a bit of a late entry, and he joined us as well. But what we're doing now, so we in the start shoot. So just like a real race, the earlier you join the actual race, the more upfront you are. So I decided to join it about 15 minutes before. I didn't stream all the time. Obviously, it's, with my 3 followers, it will be a bit boring. So I only started the stream at about 5 minutes or so before. As you can also see here, if you look at the top there's a, I'm in the B batch. So that's the guys that ride between 3.2 and 3.9 watts per kilogram on average. And how these races work, this is basically an 8-kilometer crit. And at the end, there's like this ridiculous killer climb of about 15 to 20%. And I rode it for fun yesterday, and it hurt a lot. So, I fully expected today was going to be quite radical. So, yeah, we have Hayden that joined, and then what was funny, and the reason I'm texting them on my phone is we were chatting in our Pain Cave Love, Morning Love group. And Jono was also trying to join, but his Zwift was updating, and Carl had a call, and yeah, it was just like chaos, you know what I'm saying? So it's quite interesting to eventually get going. I was quite prepared. I was up at 5:30, kind of ready for my race. I actually had a goo on the start line as well. You'll see now at about, I think, just shortly, about 40 minutes to go. You can see there I'm definitely a little bit nervous. There goes the goo. Actually had a goo, espresso goo before the race. This is at like 6:30 in the morning for an 8-kilometer race. So yeah, fun times. And also that view, you can see there I got my new Pinarello bike in the mix, and my S-Works helmet and S-Works shoes. So yeah, good times. So so we have 1 minute 30 to go, and what you'll see now is as this clock ticks off, don't worry, I'm not going to show you the whole video. I'm going to fast forward a little bit to the end of the climb. But what you see now is with a minute left, you start pumping up your wattage. You see now as that clock's down, now I start riding, and look at my watts now. It goes up from 140, and you got to get those watts up high so that as the race starts, you kind of jump off the line. So you'll see now that's 130, 140. And just kind of getting the heart rate going as well. My heart rate sitting at about 130 there. So just chilling still. Everybody said good luck, have fun. And now there we go. So now you'll see that those watts pump all the way up now to about 400 watts, 500, 600 watts off the start. And here we are. So now we're going. And immediately that V Alexandrov oak just bullets it out. And you'll see now that there goes a guy. So that oak is gone. I mean, there's nobody was catching him. We all let him go. It was like ridiculous. The oak was sitting at like 6 watts a kilogram or something. He beat everybody with like 5 minutes, but he ultimately got disqualified because he was not racing in the right category. So what's pretty cool here in the beginning is you got to learn how to ride in a group as well. So there's no point in racing off the front, because it's actually like in real life, as you go off the front, your effort doesn't give you as much gain. So here we're riding, and I'm just trying to stay up front, but kind of in the group. And I've got Carl there, we got Hayden there. This I think was Jono's first race, Jono Gay, and he wasn't really quick off the start, so he was lounging at the back from the beginning, unfortunately. So he wasn't much help in terms of pulling. Yeah, no. So this as you can see in terms of the route profile, if you look at the top right hand side, it's the route profile. You can see it's a fairly flat crit, and then at the end there's just like this insane hill where everybody just basically goes flat out until they vomit, and we see who's left. So I'm going to just fast forward the video now. You see I'm sitting kind of in the front of the group, 5th, 10th, 11th, and you're just kind of you don't want to use too much power, but you need to stay up front, because if this thing splits, then you can lose the wheel, just like in real life. Okay. This is obviously the closest I've ever been to the front of any bunch, being a very average midweek pack rider. But let's see what also cool is, if you look at my little video, I'm starting to sweat a bit, and then I'm having some water. I also created a playlist with 5 songs, because I know this race will take about 15 minutes to complete. But anyway, let me fast forward the video a little bit so we get to the sharp end of the stick here. So yeah, we're coming up. So now we 3.3 kilometers now from the end. And this is now, you can see there, I'm kind of in the front. So Hayden comes across to help out. And you can see now it's kind of I'm lying third. The first oak he's basically already almost finished with the race. And then we've got a little grouping. So I just tap off a little bit, guys. I know that now we turn left and then there's a hairpin and then this thing just goes crazy. So you'll see now we kind of bunch up together again and then the actual climb begins. You'll see it's only been 7 minutes, but the whole race took 17 minutes. So the bulk of the time is spent on the actual climb. So yeah, I'm trying my best to kind of recover a little bit. Heart rate sitting at 170, which is close to my max. My max is 185. So you're still kind of chilling in front third, and here comes the hairpin. And my strategy here with this climb was going not to go flat out from the beginning, but to kind of just try my best to mark. So here it goes. So now I'm just trying my best to mark whoever's going up front. So I see there's one guy, so I'm tapping off a little bit. See, I don't want to surge. And then that guy goes, and I'm like trying to hang with him. See the guy with the Tron, there's a guy with a Tron bike, he goes, and then I'm actually standing up, I'm trying to like 415 watts elevation of 13%. So I'm trying to catch that guy. He's so close, and then I get his wheel. So this is now a German dude, so I do get his wheel. And then here I actually made a small mistake where I catch him. You'll see now that I've actually caught up to him. We're doing about, 4.5, 5.5 watts per kilogram. And see, I surged past him, and then I decide, you see there I made my mistake. So at that exact point, I was actually feeling pretty good. But what happened is as I surged past him, I decided that I didn't want to go past him yet because the climbs, there's still a lot of the climb left. So as I went past him, I slowed down, but also I changed gears. So the problem I had there is then with the gear change, my watts dropped too much and then I lost the wheel. So then now I'm like a little bit behind the scenes. And then I had two other guys come past me as well. Now my heart rate's already at 180. And now I'm trying my best to catch those oaks. And basically that was a write-off. So you can see your head down, missioning. 8%, so this is a little bit more of it, believe it or not, a chilled part in the ride, but also still kind of giving it what I've got. They're sitting at 330, 350, 360 watts as we go. And the other thing kicks up to about 9% again, and then we get to the hairpin where it really goes mad. And I'm seeing if I can maybe catch those guys. I'm trying my best. And here it drops down to 3%. And on this hairpin, it goes crazy. So here you can see it goes from 11% all the way up to 17%. You see my watts also shoot up to about 400. I'm standing up. I'm trying everything to catch these guys. My heart rate's sitting at 180. And now I'm starting to blow. So now, and for those that don't know cycling, this is a term where your body just tunes you, sorry, but you can't go much more. And it's basically like a mushroom cloud that explodes where no matter what you do, you can't do much else. I'm still sitting at almost like 370, 380 watts, but I'm trying my best to get this guy, but my heart rate's sitting at 182. My max is 185. So I'm really flat out now. The face is hurting. I mean, I'm hurting just watching this again, to be honest. And here I'm standing up. You see the watts, they dropped all the way to 260. That was just like a recovery little chill, little spin. Also, if you look at the graph, for those not familiar with Zwift, look at the red at the bottom of the picture there. That shows you that I'm completely in the red zone, and here comes a guy passing me, unfortunately. Nothing I could do at that stage of the fight. You can see gasping for air, basically just praying for this thing to be finished. I've got 800 meters left. As this turn comes, I know that it drops a bit. I mean, you can see that incline is 14%, 15%. I mean, this is tough, right? So now the turn comes, and then there's a little bit of respite. We're looking at 4-5% for 200-300 meters. And then this thing kicks again to 11%. So, yeah, so now you can see there 5-7%. So I'm just recovering a little bit. And now at this point in time, I'm sitting seventh, and I'm just hoping for this oak behind me not to catch me. And then I'm now sitting at 5%, I gear down and I go, look, I'm going to go all in to make sure that this guy behind me doesn't catch me already. And I want to kind of consolidate my seventh position in my crit race, which was quite fun. So here I go, basically balls deep again, 400 watts, flat out, trying for this oak behind me not to catch me. 10%, 11% gradient, and yet it flattens out 7, 8%, and I can see the finish line, and I'll basically just give it everything I have to get to the end to make sure that this hook doesn't catch me. And yeah, that was basically the race. I mean, I was feeling really, really anal at this point in time. But yeah, what an interesting race and a great experience, and just cool that I wanted to just share this with you. Look at the head down, breathing hard, struggling a lot. But yeah, good times, and thanks for watching.